This is Kisi Hot TV, the leading international YouTube channel for music and news. You can get us in our YouTube channel at Kisi Hot TV, and I'm Oloch Clinton Otieno. Welcome to the other side of normal show, and we want to talk about mental health in Kenya. And in studio, we are joined by a health practitioner who is going to tell us her name and what she does.
Thank you, Mr. Clinton. I'm Talia Oching, health practitioner focusing on mental health issues. I'm glad to be with you today.
Okay, thank you for joining us. And Madam Talia, what are the basic concepts in mental health?
Basic concepts are mental health, its own, and mental illness. Whereby we find mental illness, this is the change in an individual's behavior or mood or emotions. And the mental health itself is the mental wellness or the state to enable someone cope with stress.
Okay, then what are the common types of mental health conditions in Kenya?
Common types, we have the anxiety, we have depression, we have bipolar disorder. Whereby bipolar disorder, I think that's the only term I can explain there, because those other ones are self-explanatory. The bipolar disorder, this is a change, or this is a disorder that's characterized by the mood change or mood swings.
Okay, she has talked about the common types of mental conditions in Kenya, which includes depression, which actually is always the mood disorders of...
Exactly.
Yeah. Then we also have anxiety, which is always natural human emotions. So as we continue, we can talk about, you can tell us about a brief description of mental health statistics in Kenya and globally.
Okay. With me, I have the mental health statistics in Kenya and globally, and with facts. Here are the statistics of mental health in Kenya. You find that 23% of Kenyans are not that good in mental health. They have the disorder, placing Kenya among the top 5 countries globally in terms of mental health challenges. Number 2, you find that the adolescent mental health. This is the second thing we are going to tackle in the mental health in Kenya, where you find that the fact says that the national survey reveals that 44.3% of adolescents aged 10 to 17 had a mental health problem, with 12.2% meeting the criteria for mental disorder. In economic impact, you find that mental health issue result in an estimated annual loss of 62.2 billion budget of mental health services, indicating significant underfunding in this sector of mental health. We have the healthcare budget allocation, where you find the government allocated 0.01% of fund to help in mental health budget. I think those are the only mental health facts I can see in Kenya, the statistics. You ask about the global, Mr. Oloch. The global mental health in 2024-2025, we focus on global prevalence. According to WHO, that's the World Health Organization, 1 in 8 people worldwide live with a mental disorder, totaling approximately 970 million individuals. In workplaces, depression and anxiety contribute to the loss of about 12 billion working daily annual. Costly and globally economic, over 1 trillion each year. In COVID-19, that was the year 2023, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
The COVID pandemic led to 25% increase in depression cases. That's between 2020 to 2023. 2023, that's when COVID-19, okay, so the trend persists beyond the pandemic period. Then the public concerns, those are the concerns of the people. The COVID pandemic we've talked about. Then the mental health has become the foremost health concern in several counties, surpassing issues like cancer and obesity. Then we have the workplaces, I think I've tackled. I can see those are the only facts concerning the global statistics. Any question, or you want to reach there?
Okay, what I can ask you next is, can you give us any case study in Kenya?
Any case studies in Kenya?
Yes.
In Kayole, we had a man of 23 years old who was addicted to alcohol. He finds it that difficult to share with friends, like he was just alone.
Yes.
I think that causes some mental issue with him. Finding this guy, he approached me while walking on the street. I advised him and asked him to visit any mental health clinic. And for now, I think the man is in a good health condition. And that's appreciation for the clinic, mental health clinic.
Thanks for joining us via our online platforms in YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. For our esteemed viewers, if you have any question regarding our topic, mental health, you can send it to us via the comment section, because mental health is health. And Madam Talia, what are some of the statistics of suicide, substance, and drug abuse?
Thank you for asking that important question. We have some facts concerning the statistics of such suicidal dropout cases in Kenya. Here are the statistics of the suicide in Kenya rate. You can see that the national suicide rate in Kenya, we have 11 per 100,000 people, translating to about 4 suicide deaths per day. 4 suicide deaths per day. Then we have the substance abuse in Kenya. You asked about the substance abuse in Kenya, Mr.
Yes.
Clinton.
Yes.
You can see according to 2022 NACADA survey, 1 in 6 Kenya age 15 to 65, that is age bracket, approximately 4.73 million people currently use at least one drug or substance in a day. Then if we focus on alcohol, you find that about 3.2 million Kenyans in the age bracket of 15 to 65 consume this drug, with the West region exhibiting the highest prevalence in 23.8%. Then cannabis, you can find that 1 in 53 Kenyan age 15 to 65, that's the age bracket, reports that Nairobi has the highest prevalence of 6 to 3% of the cannabis consumed. Then we have the dropout. Here you can see the school dropout rates in Kenya, gender disparity. Focusing on that, you find that the data indicates that the school girls are more likely to drop out at age 17, with the dropout age of 6.5% compared to 5.9% among boys of the same age.
It is very eminent that mental health is a real issue in Kenya, and it affects most youths aged between 18 to 24, the teens, and even the millennials, and even the people who are old. And Madam, I can also ask you another question about how should these people
Yes.
cope up with mental health?
Coping up with mental health is very easy. First, you need to share your thoughts with the trusted people. Second, don't just be alone. I think being in a group of people is very important, because there you can get very good ideas from each one.
Yes.
Then you have to exercise regularly. Another one, you have to eat healthy meal.
Yeah.
Don't just eat healthy meals. Then we have music therapy, whereby you can sing during your free time. We also call it as leisure time. You can sing or listen to music. We say music is sometimes a therapy. Then we have deep breath. Here we can use the technique of 4-minute rule.
Yeah.
Where you can just take a break of 4 minutes when you are tired. It's not that you just work all the time. Everything you do, just give it a break of 4 minutes. I think that one can help us cope with this.
What about having good sleep hygiene?
Very okay with that.
Okay, thank you. Then another question. Okay, to our viewers, I'm going to sample all your questions and she will respond to them in the meantime. And as we continue, we are going to talk about okay, we are going to sample these questions, and one of us is asking that this is Joshua Mutunga. He's saying that what are some of these signs of mental health?
Signs are categorized into 3, where we have emotional signs, we have behavioral signs, and we have physical signs.
You can elaborate on that. What are some of these emotional signs, behavioral signs, and physical signs we're talking about?
Emotional signs, here we have what we call persistent sadness. Here you find someone she or he feel, you just feel sad anytime. Like you are not okay, sometimes you are sad, sometimes you are happy, like you don't understand what's going on. We have extreme mood changes where we have mood swings, and very extreme one. We have anger issues, you can't manage your anger. We have feeling hopeless where you just lose hope in everything. Concerning the issue of behavioral, it's another type of mental health as a sign. You find that you withdraw from friends and families, you just want personal space. Another point, you find that someone just use alcohol more than usual for the drunkards. You find that you change sleeping and eating habits.
So before even you continue,
Yes.
we are talking about someone consuming alcohol to an extent, to an abnormal extent.
Yes.
Is it an actual sign of mental health?
Yeah, it's an actual sign of mental health. It's under behavioral sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just continue.
Then we go to physical sign where you find you have sleep problems, you have explained aches, you can the unexplained aches, I mean, you can explain what's going on in your body. Like you are just tired, you have pains, you go to fatigue. Fatigue is also the low energy. You just have low energy. You can't do your work the way you used to do it as usual.
How can it affect somebody's performance in the workplace?
You find that if you don't have energy, you find that you are just there resting. You can go to work, by the way, and you just rest because you can't do nothing. You're just there seated, lonely. These people, like, you can't understand them, by the way.
Okay, some of these signs that she has talked about are, we have persistent sadness and extreme mood changes. We have excessive consumption of alcohol and those drugs, and also we have some of these people, you find that they are always feeling hopeless. And under behavioral signs, she has talked about withdrawal from friends and family or social activities. We also have changes in eating or sleeping habits, and also decreased performance in workplace and avoiding responsibilities. In physical signs, she has talked about unexplained aches and pains, fatigue or low energy, changes in appetite or weight, and having sleep problems. And another question that one of us is asking is that,
Yes.
Can mental health actually be prevented?
Yes, it can be prevented.
Okay, you can give us a snapshot of that.
Okay, you find that there are some disorders which can be prevented. Like we talked about the anxiety, it can be prevented. Then there is this one called bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder, you can't just work on it and finish it that way, since it is biological caused, like it affects you psychologically. You find that you can prevent this one when you work on it earlier before it develops in your body.
Okay, as we goes to the end of this discussion, you can tell us some of your remarks, and even before you tell us some of those remarks,
Yes.
I can take our able viewers for what we have been discussing today and what we will talk about tomorrow. And today we are talking about the state of mental health in Kenya, and where she has given us a lot of statistics. She has given us a lot of statistics of actually the current state of mental health in Kenya, and she has given us a snapshot of the basic concepts of mental health, where she talked about mental health, which is a state of mental well-being that enables us to cope with stresses. And also we have mental illness, which are health conditions involving changes in emotions, thinking, and behavior. And these changes can be associated with distress, problems, and mental illness. She also talked about common types of mental health conditions in Kenya, where we talked about depression, which is always moral disorder. We also have moral order, mood disorder. We also have anxiety, which is always natural human emotions. It always basically comes from worrying, fear, or fear of the future. Exactly, that's what I can term it. And also we have bipolar disorder, which is a disorder characterized by the mood swings. You find that somebody changes emotionally. It can change anytime emotionally. You can be happy now, and in the next minute she's not happy or he's not happy. Then we went ahead and talked about how to cope up with stress. She talked about regular exercises, eating, having healthy eating habits, and also having good sleep hygiene. We also have music therapy, and in music therapy, I think it's always very essential to listen to the best music that actually can suit you when you have
Exactly.
problems, challenges, and so that you can actually get out of some of these problems. Also, you can also talk to trusted people. There are always trusted people in the family, friends, relatives you can talk to in order to come out of stress. If you tell this person your problem, he can actually tell you the way
Assist
forward.
somewhere.
Yeah, he can assist you. And if you also, she also talked about some of these common signs of mental health, where she categorized them into three, of which there were emotional signs, physical signs, and behavioral signs. Under emotional signs, she talked about persistent sadness, where you find that somebody is always sad. The mood is always, he or she is always sad with no reason. He can't even talk to you. He's always just like that. Then another one, you also have extreme mood changes. For someone to go to an extreme mood changes is someone, if it is sadness, it is to that extreme that someone finds it very difficult to even express himself. He can't tell you any problem you're facing. Then another one she talked about is feeling hopeless. Most of these people, especially the youth, they are always feeling very hopeless when they are stressed up. And under behavioral signs, I think you talked about withdrawal from friends and
Yes.
family or social activities. These social activities always bring people together. And when we find that somebody want to disorient himself from these people, it always a sign of stress or mental disorder. You also have changes in eating or sleeping. Find that somebody cannot even eat to an extent that if you start eating, you definitely just leave, eating, or you opt to do other things other than even sleeping,
You
or
don't have appetite to
yeah,
eat.
there is no appetite. Then she also talked about decreased performance at workplace. So you can be employed in an organization or a company, and you find that this person, an employee, he can come to the office, and the rate at which he was working, you find
Has
that
decreased.
it has seriously decreased. So you cannot say that this person is underperforming. The person is underperforming, but you may not know the reason.
Issue, yeah.
So the issue may be as a result of mental health, and this one, it should be a concern that even the employers should always consider, and in how to mitigate some of these issues. And in the workplace, you find that these people will always be avoiding responsibility. You are given a task to do, but you will always definitely avoid it. Then under physical signs, she talked about unexplained aches and pains. Then you also find fatigue or low energy, and changes in appetite or weight. Then the last one you were talking about was sleep problems. Then we also have the prevention of mental health in Kenya. How can we basically prevent health in Kenya, prevent mental health in Kenya? She talked about some of these ways you can prevent mental health in Kenya, why she was talking about asking for help when you need it. You be expressive, talk to people, talk to the trusted friends, talk to them so that you can prevent being stressed up. Then another one, you can join social or community groups. There are groups, if you socialize with many people, there will be a very high possibility of you explaining yourself, telling these people, I'm going through some of these challenges, and eventually you'll definitely have solution to some of these challenges. And if you have the solutions to some of those challenges, definitely you will not be stressed up. Then another one, you can talk openly about your feelings. What are you thinking about? You can go to your trusted friend, tell this person, I'm going through some of these conditions, these are the problems I'm facing. You can tell them, I'm going through some of these problems, and they definitely will have solutions. Then as we end up, you can tell us some of your last remarks, where you can be found, your contact, and I think that one.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clinton. My last remarks to my people, my beloved people, is that you just break the silence, you break the stigma, then be the change. You can find me via WhatsApp number 07420 89 420. I repeat, 07420 89 420. I'm always available. Thank you, my people.
Okay, if you listen to her last remark, she talked about what? Break the silence and be the change. It's a very powerful remark, and as I end it, I'm Oloch Clinton Otieno, and I want to encourage you by saying that mental health is indeed health itself. So, if you are in a situation where you have a mental health problem, you can actually get us through our number 07 13 93 07 35. I'll repeat, 07 13 93 07 35. You can actually get me, you can SMS me, you can also send me a text via WhatsApp. You can also call that number. You'll get a proper response. Thank you for those who joined, listen to us.